Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Sincerely Agile with Mary. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, this is a platform where we want to learn, unlearn, and relearn, make change agents of ourselves, and above all, it's a place where we want to be awesome and wholesome together. And when we say that, we really, really do mean it. My name is Mary Lanignon, and as always, I am your host. And today we're looking at building agile communities. And I have the amazing Andrea Pratt-Smith joining me on this conversation. And here she is. Hello, Andrea.
Hi, Mary. Thanks for having me on your platform.
How are you?
I am great. I am really great.
It is a pleasure to definitely have you on this platform. I can't wait for us to get into it. Now, you're joining me from the Bahamas, right? When
Yes,
I think Bahamas, I'm thinking holiday destination. So, what
yes.
is it
Well,
like living in the Bahamas?
it's great to live in the Bahamas. We have sunny climate most of the year, and today is actually a wonderful beach day. And I may just go to the beach after we finish our conversation today and take advantage of a beautiful sunny day here in Nassau, Bahamas.
It's a beautiful sunny beach day. Now, I'm jealous to hear that because right here it is dark, it is windy, it is raining, it is cold, nothing like a beach weather. So awesome for you, I guess.
Yes, it is.
So we have more people joining us now. We've got Ronke here on LinkedIn. She's saying, hello, ladies. Thank you for joining us, Ronke. We stream on YouTube as well as Facebook. Now, Andrea, let me read your bio so that our audience can get to know more about you. Andrea Pratt-Smith is a Bahamian visionary and change agent who advocates for the empowerment of others through continuous learning, networking, and community building. She is passionate about philanthropic projects and strongly supports volunteering. Andrea is an advanced certified Scrum Master and has multiple globally accredited Agile and project management certifications. She's a member of numerous international organizations. She's a certified professional Kanban trainer with prokanban.org and aspires to become a professional Scrum trainer. She is the founder of the Bahamas Agile and Project Management Community and owner of Creative Minds Project Development and Consultation based in Nassau, Bahamas. Andrea knows the power of having an agile mindset and embodies this with her personal mandate to transform the world by empowering and inspiring others to bring out their innate creativity through the renewing of their minds. Her favorite quote is, whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. Now, that is an amazing quote right there from Henry Ford, isn't it? Andrea, you're welcome to Sincerely Agile with Mary. And you know what? I'm so aligned with you on that quote. And it is a quote that I have, used so many times just to encourage my mentees because, like you, I also mentor a lot of people who want to come into the agile space. Because, quite frankly, it all starts in the mind, isn't it? If you
It
think you
does.
can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. It's that
Um,
simple, really. Great bio there. Welcome to Sincerely Agile with Mary. Now, okay, we've got more people joining us. Hello, 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 hello from Arizona there. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. And I'm sure some of your network people will join us. Some people in your network will also be joining us. Now, Andrea, I have a classic question for all my guests that happen to be agilists, right? And it is quite simple. How did your agile journey start? And I ask this question because we can, perhaps inspire
mhm.
someone who's hearing. So over to you. How did your agile journey start?
Well, my agile journey started when I got an email invitation to join a meetup in South Florida with the South Florida Agile Association. And when I attended their first meetup in June of 2020, I was just fascinated by the feel of community, the family environment, the encouraging nature of everyone who was a part of this community. And they really cared about my professional development. And so I started my certification track from being a part of this community. I became part of a volunteer Scrum team, and we actually developed a mobile app called the Scrum Mobile Resource Tool. And it has been an inspiration so much so that when I looked at what was going on in the Bahamas and there was not a community, it inspired me to form a community in the Bahamas. And even though the field of agility or agile and project management isn't well known in the Bahamas, I saw a void and I wanted to replicate to a certain extent what was happening with the community in South Florida in the Bahamas, but also take it to another level.
Right. Did you say 2020, Andrea?
2020 during the
Wow.
during the pandemic.
During the pandemic, that was when you actually got to know about Agile.
Yes, yes. I became
And
a certified Scrum Master that same year, and I also obtained my project management professional certification and Project Plus from CompTIA.
wow, all of this happened just in 2020. Now, that is amazing because I know your footprint, if I can put it that way, within the Agile community has really blossomed. And to think that this only just started in 2020, I really must, give you kudos, to be honest. That means you've really done a lot in a short space of time. And within that short space of time, you have also managed to start a community. Now, I liked
Yes,
what you said. You said you you joined the community, and because after all, we're talking about building agile communities today, and they took a lot of interest in your professional development. And this is what is so great about agile communities. And because we have benefited, somehow we feel we need to pay it forward too. And that is what we're also doing on this platform right here, right now. So
yes.
that is so great. Now, tell me a little bit more about this app.
Oh, the app.
Yeah.
It's called the Scrum Mobile Resource Tool. I was actually volunteering as part of a Scrum team, so that's where I got my Scrum mastering experience through volunteering. And we developed an app, and it's available in the Google Play Store.
Google Play Store. So what can someone, an aspiring agilist, how can they benefit from this tool?
Well, the tool actually is the Scrum guide in a mobile app. So the Scrum,
Right.
yeah, it shows you all of the different ceremonies that happens in Scrum. We also develop timers in it. So you have the timers tool. You have tools for retrospective. So it's just a tool that you can use to help you as a Scrum Master in carrying out your functions in that capacity.
That's a good one. I'm hearing about it for the first time. So that's quite an interesting one. Thank you very much for mentioning that. So that's an interesting journey in a very short time that has blossomed, and that is just good to know. So talking about agile in the Bahamas, what does that look like today? I mean, given that you've only just started in the last two,
Yeah.
3 years, would you say the idea of the agile ways of working within organizations within the Bahamas, be it large organizations or small organizations, are they really taking to that? What does that look like today?
Well, Mary, to be honest, I have never worked in the Bahamas in an agile space. My working in agile has been international and not
Right.
local, but I have been speaking with persons who work in the project management field in the Bahamas, and they practically said to me, Andrea, if you're ever asked a question about the state of agility in the Bahamas, just speak about it honestly. And honestly, it's practically non-existent, sad to say.
Right.
So the work that we're doing through the community is to build awareness of agility so that persons can see the benefits of working in agile ways and to incorporate that into the way that they work currently, which is mostly traditional project management.
Right. So it is really not existent there right now. So which means the fact that you have taken this on is, going to be a huge benefit to organizations in the Bahamas. But obviously we need to then create the awareness about it, right? You
Yeah,
you then need to, I'm happy that you have this community building up right now, because that means with more people getting the training, becoming more aware about, Agile and what they can benefit from Agile, then potentially organizations also will start hearing about it. People within those organizations will start hearing about it, and they can start experimenting. And I'm sure, organizations within the Bahamas will have a lot to benefit from that. So that is great. It's great to know that, we are taking such interest in what can benefit organizations and society at large. So I'm really excited about, all the things you're going to be
Yeah.
talking about with regards to the community.
Well,
Now,
well,
so if,
Mary,
yeah,
no, I was just going to say on that front, I was asked, why would you want to create something or build a community of Agilists when the opportunities for employment doesn't exist? And my response to that question is, I'd rather be proactive than reactive,
I like
because
that.
Agile is going to come to the Bahamas eventually. And I would rather know that I've taken some part in helping train persons to become Scrum Masters and product owners, and have the opportunity, be ready to jump on board when the opportunity presents itself, and not be scrambling to get ready. And
Absolutely.
and that's how I look at it. Like, build it and they will come. And that's what I'm doing. I'm building a community. I'm building awareness of agility so that when the Bahamas is ready, we will have the trained persons here ready on the island to take those positions.
Great response right there. And that's the way I saw it when you talked about the fact that it hasn't really taken off. But here you are preparing people, doing the groundwork, because eventually it will get to the Bahamas. It will become
It
something
will.
that organizations and leadership will embrace eventually, because I'm sure they don't want to be left behind either, in terms of, their trajectory in how well the organizations are doing. So it will catch on. And when that happens, like you said, you won't be scrambling. Your community will be there ready to take advantage of those opportunities. Fantastic. I have a comment here. Okay, I have Melissa join us. Hello, Melissa. How are you? Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. So, I mean, if, like you said earlier on, you said that it hasn't really taken off. So, which means for now, the job opportunities in Agile, next to nothing, right?
Yes, but my response to that, don't look at the job opportunities just for in the Bahamas. And I always tell people, I may live on an island, but my mindset is global. The
Hmm.
same way I seeked out my certifications in Agile and I'm working internationally, that's the same mindset anyone in the Bahamas can have. We don't only have to stick to what jobs are available here. We can go out and find jobs internationally. And then when the Bahamas is ready, we have that experience. We can say that we've worked on projects, we've developed apps, we've done work in the agile space. It just may not have been from at home, but we have the job experience, we have the qualifications, and two, we're positioning ourselves where we can say to prospective future employers, you
Mhm.
don't have to bring in a foreigner to do the work because we have the experience, we have the qualifications. Give us a chance.
Absolutely. And of course, the pandemic has totally opened the international space. And like you said, you're in the Bahamas, but you may not be working agile, but in the Bahamas, but you're working internationally. And that's an opportunity that's open to all of us. It doesn't matter where we are. I was traveling for about 6 weeks. You remember we spoke when I was in Atlanta. I
Yeah,
was traveling for about 6 weeks and I was working while I was traveling. So it's a different world entirely today,
yeah,
and the opportunities are there to be taken. But more importantly, we need to be ready. That is
yeah,
where, that's the part we have to play. We always have to be ready so that when the opportunities come, we can take advantage of those opportunities. And again,
exactly.
wouldn't it be great to live in Bahamas? Like I said, when I think of the Bahamas, I'm thinking holiday destination. To be living
Yes,
in the Bahamas and to be able to work for any company globally, I think that is just a win-win all round.
it
More
is.
comments from our audience. I think I like to carry them along. Um, Melissa says, yes, Agile will definitely open doors in the global market. It is opening doors already. It is. It is. So we need to just keep training and training and training. Andrea Pratt, love your foresight. Absolutely. Thinking and courage. Absolutely. We really need to applaud her for that. Very, very courageous of her. And like you said, Ronke, it's the foresight saying, you know what? Whether they like it or not, Agile is coming to the Bahamas. So the question
Again,
is, will we be ready? And we need to be
will we
ready.
be?
And I
Yes,
absolutely,
yes.
we need to be ready. Yeah, we need to be
Mhm.
ready. Absolutely. And Benga Ojo here says, thank you for joining us, Benga. For some reason, Andrea's voice is not so audible. Perhaps it's from my end. No, it's not from your end. She's on an island. She's on an island in the Bahamas, and that is why, unfortunately. But we'll try and do the best we can. We'll do the best we can. What's the name of the Scrum app again? He said
Scrum Mobile Resource Tool. It's SMRT app. But if you search for it
Scrum.
in the Google Store,
Okay.
Scrum Mobile Resource Tool.
Scrum
Smart
Mobile
app.
Resource Tool, and it's on Google Play
Google
Store,
Play
right?
Store.
Okay, Google Play Store. That's a useful one with all the ceremonies there. Thank you for joining us, Glinga. Okay, so we've talked about the job opportunities. We've talked about how you have been so proactive about doing that. Now, um, communities of practice are very important, obviously. So, why are communities of practice important professional learning strategies? You've mentioned some, but can you tell us
Yeah.
more? Because it has become very, very popular to be part of a community of practice. I mean, I've been working as a consultant now for about 14 years before I came into the Agile space. And back then, we did a lot of capacity building, if you like, a lot of training, and we didn't quite form communities for those, should I say, body of knowledge. We didn't
Yeah.
do that. So for me, I really, really love this idea of community of practice. So please tell us more.
Well, firstly, I would say one of the most important things about having a community of practice or being involved in a community of practice is the opportunities to network and meet other professionals that are within your same field or even different fields that you haven't even think about exploring. And also too, they provide opportunities for continuous learning. If you're a avid learner like myself
Hmm.
and you're always looking for ways for professional upgrading and development, they help you to seek out different um, opportunities where you can always continuously learn. And also, they provide opportunities for scholarships. Being a part of different organizations and community of practices, I've already obtained 3 scholarships
Wow.
to help me obtain certification. So, you have opportunities to apply for scholarships, and most of the communities of practice, your involvement in them is free. You don't have to pay fees like our community, the Bahamas Agile and Project Management Community. We do not charge anyone to attend our meetup. I do not charge anyone for any mentorship that they would ask of me. I freely avail myself to help anyone who is interested in project management or anything about agility. I am available and I give that service for free. And it's a way of me giving back because I realize how much I have received from being a part of the different communities that I'm a part of internationally. And they show that they care. And my care for others is genuine and authentic. So if you come to me and you have a question and you said, I don't know that much about project management, I do my best. And if I don't know the answer, I research it and I get back to you. But it's a genuine care to see that others develop. And my whole focus from day one has been to inspire persons,
Hmm.
to empower them, and to help them transform into being a better person.
Absolutely. I mean, you talked about networking. I'm trying to reiterate what you're saying because some people feel your audio is not very great. You talked about networking. You talked about how you have benefited from scholarships and you've had about 3 certifications just by being a member of some of these communities. And of course, for some of these communities, we don't have to pay to be a member. You've also talked about how you're mentoring people, giving of your time to mentor. And this is you giving back. I mean, this is a body of knowledge. There's just so much to learn from these communities. If you if you look at Agile Alliance, for example, if you go to their website or you go to scrum.org or you go to Scrum Alliance, oh my God, the resources on those platforms, it's mind blowing. I keep telling people the resources on those platforms is just mind blowing. There is no excuse when it comes to, resources out there. They are there. And for some of these platforms, you don't even have to pay to be a member. The resources are free.
Yep.
And you also talk about giving of your time. I mean, when you told me you were starting a community, I'm like, you really must love this because it does take time.
Yep.
It takes time, it takes energy, and you must really be into this. You must love what you do to want to do that. And of course, I can see that you want to help build your community as well as in your country, the Bahamas, your
Yep.
island. You want to help build that as well. So thank you very much for that. We've got more comments, I believe, from our audience. We've got Scrum. Yes, I've just shown the resource tool there. So hopefully you got that. I'll show it again. Um, yep. That's it. Thank you for rehashing that essentially. Thank you so much. Now, talking about, what we do as agilists,
Mhm.
what gives you the most energy and satisfaction?
Well, what gives me energy and satisfaction is through mentorship. And I wouldn't say that's part of my work so much because that's an unpaid service, but it's technically it is part of my work as an
As an
agilist.
agilist, generally.
Yeah, yeah. As an agilist, you want to see other person to progress in their journey as well. And I think that it's a mutually beneficial thing for me because not only do I feel rewarded for helping someone else, but I get inspiration from doing it. So when I can help someone and show them, okay, this is the path and this is, what I think and this is what I experience and I'm sharing my journey with them, it gives them foresight into
Hmm.
planning their journey. And also, what I love is how I interact with my team members. I love incorporating all of the agile principles and values that I've learned into the actual work because we have this saying in the agile community: don't just um, don't just be no, how does it go again? Something about
Don't just do
not
agile,
just
be
doing
agile.
agile. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't just do agile, be agile.
yeah.
And for me, when I experienced that crossover where I kind of saw that I'm not just pulling theory out of my head, but I'm actually living it. I'm actually doing what the theory says, and I'm feeling like this is my way of working, and this is my way of life, and this is my true nature. Then it's like that's total satisfaction to know that you've embodied what it means to be a true agilist. That it's not just you speaking back textbook theory, but you putting it into practical use and it makes sense. Like you actually helping people when it comes to psychological safety. You care about your team, and you actually put those practice into play, and you could see it,
Yeah.
and it feels very rewarding for me.
Absolutely. It's not just about doing agile, it's about being agile. It's about
Being
how we
agile.
show up, essentially. It is about how we show up. It is definitely about how we show up. Interesting. Um, in terms of reading, I know in
Mhm.
this space, um, it's a journey. We say it's a journey, a never ending journey of continuous improvement. I mean, I started
Yeah.
my OSCAM training just last month. And of course, by the end of that training, they had recommended like 3 books for us to read. So, what's are you reading right now?
Well, I always keep some kind of Scrum guide, Kanban guide, or something next to me. I actually have those printed out on my desk right now, and I read those continuously. But as far as books, I'm not a novelist. I cannot get through a novel for some reason. But give me a textbook and I could read it in a week.
Right.
But project management book, what I'm reading right now for the third time is Project Management for Parents by Hillary Kinney. I love this book because it's practical advice for parents and it incorporates project management. So that's like
Wow.
a win-win. So
Project
I'm
management book
reading this
for
book for the third
parents.
time.
Okay.
Parents, yes,
And you're reading it for the
I love
third
this
time.
book.
That must be a great book
And
for
I'm
you to be reading it for the third time.
third
Now,
time.
you said something
Yes.
interesting there. You
I'm
said you're not someone who reads fictional book. You don't read novels as such. I bet I very rarely read novels
no.
myself. We have something in common there. I
I can't
very
get
rarely read
I
fictional
can't get
books.
through it.
Me too. But give me a book
And this
on
is another
leadership.
one that
Yeah. Okay. Deep tech. I
this is
like that.
another book that I started reading. Yes, because it's
And what
based
what
on a
is this
project that I'm
about?
working on right now.
Okay.
This is talking about how to elevate, scale, and amplify your business through the new four P's: platforms, purpose, people, and planet. So it's incorporating technology into ways of working and how you
Right.
interact with people from a different perspective.
From a
So
different perspective.
it's changing the world.
Does it have
So this
anything
is
to do
my
with
other
sustainability?
book.
Does it have anything to do with sustainability?
It it's talking different about aspects of sustainability as far as how to integrate tools, project management tools or technology into working and how we coexist, technology and people.
Right. And the planet, of course,
It's a little
incorporating all of that.
complicated.
I know, I know. I'm currently reading Systems Inspired Leadership by Frank and Marita, and it's quite an interesting book about leadership looking at, the whole system as opposed to focusing on individuals. A very, very interesting perspective,
Yeah.
and I'm having a great time, reading that. Now, let's talk about your community in the Bahamas because we want more people to know about it so that more people can join and more people can, embrace these agile ways of working so that when the Bahamas is ready for agile, we have enough people to take on that challenge. So you
Yeah.
started the Bahamas Agile Project Management community. Um, I'm sure you've mentioned it along the lines, but what really birthed that idea for you to start this?
I think honestly the whole concept came about when I saw that there was a void. I think great ideas are always birthed when you see that there's nothing there. And I wanted to be home and I wanted to be a part of the community, but I could not find one. So for months, I was doing my research. I did some groundwork research and try to reach out to different persons who were in the project management field. But I wasn't coming across a lot of persons who had agile certifications. There was probably less like one or two other persons. And I thought that was interesting. I'm like, well, why don't we have more persons with agile certifications? And then I realized it's because we probably don't have an agile community where we could get to know each other, where we could congregate and have conversations about what's going on our projects or what's going on in the Bahamas as far as project management. And even today, a lot of persons don't know about agile. So that's why we have Bahamas Agile and project management community because we so structured on the project management part that we don't have
Because there's a
uh,
lot there's a lot more focus on project management
project
at the moment,
management.
not just
Yes.
okay. Okay.
So that's what I did. I sent out a survey and I was contacting persons who had certifications. And then I opened it up to persons who were interested in obtaining certification. So I had a survey with persons who filled it out like with 200 persons, and I just started building persons from there and contacting persons. And then I had a few focus groups. I did a few focus groups before the community was actually launched, which was June 1st of 2021. And we've been going good ever since. We picked up sponsorship from the Scrum Alliance. So we're part of the Scrum Alliance Network Pro User Group. But when we first started, the community was self-funded. So, before we got any funding or sponsorship, I was taking my personal resources to build the community and to sustain
Wow.
the community. And that's how much I believed in it. Like if I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't have not have taken, my resources to start it,
Hmm.
sustain it, and keep it to the point until we could have gotten some type of sponsorship.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really happy you do have sponsorship now because obviously not only does this thing take our time, which you can't even put money to the time it takes, it also consumes dollars. So I'm happy that you do have sponsorship now. And to have started that with you funding it, honestly, it just goes to show how much you believe in what you're doing, how much this means to you, in terms of your commitment level. This is just a lot, and it also shows how dedicated you are, a patriotic citizen. This is a commitment to your country, I must say. So we really appreciate that, Andrea. Thank you very much for doing that. So what else would you like people to know? I know you are on meetup.com. What's the next event coming up? Anything at all you can tell us? What does the future hold for your community?
Yeah, well, our next meetup is going to be on November 24th. That's going to be our very first in-person meetup. So
Mm-hmm.
we were formed in June 1st of 2021. We've been having virtual meetups. This is going to be our first time actually meeting in person. And this is going to be my first time as a presenter. I've never spoken at this uh, at the community meetup. We've always
Okay.
had either other local or international presenters. So I'm presenting for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
A bit nervous about it, but I'll get through it. And it's going to be at the Crypto Isle on East Bay Street, the former Luciano of Chicago's building, at 5:30 p.m. on November 24th, which is also Thanksgiving Day. And it is a ticketed event. This is our first time charging anything to attend any of our meetups. It's $35 for the ticket, and the
Okay.
tickets can be purchased through my company's website at creativemindproject.com /event.
Okay. If you can send that to me so I can highlight that. So this is going to be on meetup.com as well. Will we have it on meetup.com?
No, no, it's going to be
Okay.
in person. We're not doing hybrid. It's totally in person.
Okay, solely in person. Okay, so let me just share that with, okay, so I'm just gonna copy that so people know about it. Okay, so there you go. I'm just pasting that. There you go. So from your website, people can get more information about the upcoming events for your community. And this is a ticketed event, right? Did you say $35?
Yes,
I didn't quite get that.
yes. The
$35.
tickets are $35, and I must
Okay.
say, we're only selling 40 tickets. It's an indoor
Okay,
event.
40
We're only taking
tickets.
40
Okay.
tickets, and the majority of our tickets have already been purchased, but by international person. So we're
Okay.
asking the Bahamian community to please purchase tickets before all are gone. This is an event for the Bahamas Agile and Project Management community.
Absolutely.
We appreciate our members from the international world supporting us,
Hmm.
but we also want Bahamians to take advantage of this opportunity to have a chance to come and sit with us, network with us, find out about Agile certifications and what's going on with this community that was built to help you, fellow Bahamians. This is our community.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a good thing that you have international, people coming to the event. But more importantly, we want the local people to attend so that they can then have the awareness of what is happening and build on that. For example, attending more of the community events, start thinking about how they can, get their certification. And perhaps, what about the local organizations? Are they coming? The small organizations, the big organizations? What have you done in that regard to actually create awareness with the organizations locally?
Well, I've reached out to everyone, but
Right.
Mary, the sad part about it is, they have to see the value in it. I can only do so much. I can only say
Yeah.
so much. I can
Yeah.
only give so much.
Mm.
And if you don't see the value in it, you won't support it. So it's up to them to see the value. And if the international community can see it, I don't know what else to do. I feel at a loss. I'm also offering to all of the attendees a 20% discount to a professional Kanban training that I'm offering in
Right.
January. So
Right.
you're getting 20% off of a Kanban certification. That's a value of $250.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, these things take time. I mean, it does take time. But again, like you said, when they start to see the value in it, my hope is that someone in one of those organizations will one of these days come to your event and really begin to see how this can deliver value for them. And hopefully, from there, something starts to happen. It only takes one person to really have a buy-in from one organization and for them to start seeing the benefit and, make
Yeah.
some noise about it to say, hey, this is how we are now working and this is the benefit we're getting from it, you know. So I really hope that happens because, Andrea, I know the effort that goes into all these activities. I know. I know. I mean, what I do here every Sunday, I know the effort that goes into it. So I really, wish you all the very best. I hope it will be a success. Unfortunately, if it had been a hybrid, I would be attending, from here. But unfortunately, it is not, and I can't do the face-to-face thing right now. I've been traveling all year already. But I really, really
I
wish you
know.
all the very best with that. So unfortunately, the quality of our video today wasn't that great, but hopefully our audience have picked up some of what we have said here today. And she is on LinkedIn. Please link up with her on LinkedIn so that you can hear more about what Andrea is doing. She's always volunteering. And because of volunteering, Andrea has really, really advanced in her career as an agilist in a very, very short space of time. I mean, I was even shocked to know that she only got into the agile space in 2020. I thought she had been in the agile space much, much longer than I have been because she's done so much in such a short time. And for that, we love you and we appreciate you, Andrea. Next week, unfortunately, I'm keeping this short. The picture quality is really not the best. Next week, we're having Fildana Maduago, and we're going to be talking about leveraging human capital potential. And this is the app again, if you need to use that app. And please try and get the ticket for the event from creativemindsproject.com. Let me just see if our audience have any comments. Gbenga, okay, no more comments. I'm really sorry, guys. The picture quality wasn't, or should I say, video quality wasn't that great today. So I'm unfortunately keeping it short today. So to our audience, thank you so much for joining us. Andrea, is so unfortunate that our video quality today wasn't that great. But you are in the Bahamas, you're in an island somewhere, and that is why. But all the
Yes.
same, it's great to be on an island. So thank you so much for your time investment here today, and I wish you all the very best with
Thank you,
your
Mary.
events. Thank you so much for all that you do for the community. Thank you and God bless. So you take care, Andrea. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Bye bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Mary.
Thank you. Bye.